And we're back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Roll School. My name is Nathaniel, one of the hosts here at the channel. I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Ashley. Say hi.
Hi.
There she is. She's off screen. And we're back with some more Llorwyn Eclipsed limited set review. We've already done the multicolor colorless. We've done white, so now we are on to blue, which is super exciting. I cannot wait to talk about more of these cards. I can't wait to learn what you guys think of these cards. Any of all of it is greatly appreciated, so let us know down in the comments below. And of course, before we jump into things, we will say a quick, if you have not subscribed to the channel and supported us, we really do love and appreciate it. It helps so much. The channel has grown well past anything we could have ever expected. I mean, I remember the first 100, and now you guys are almost crossing 400. We're at 385 at time of recording, so smash that subscribe button and help us get to our lofty end of the year goal. But I believe in you people. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Aquatex Defenses. This is a 1 and a blue enchantment aura that flashes in enchant creature you control, and enchant creature gains hexproof until end of turn and gets +1/+2. So like +1/+2 is fine, but really this is hexproof. Now you don't want to be I don't know how I feel about holding up hexproof at 2 mana, so I think it's fine, but nothing crazy. I will give it a 4 out of 10. Blossom Bind is 1 and a blue enchantment aura, enchant creature. When it enters, tap enchanted creature, and enchanted creature can't become untapped and can't have counters put on it. That's really powerful. It doesn't even just say doesn't untap on its mana. It just cannot be untapped. That is a little more stronger than we typically see, and this taps it when you enchant it, so this is really strong. I'm going to call this a 5 out of 10 removal spell. Champions of the Shoal, 3 and a blue Merfolk Soldier, so 4 mana, 4/6. As an additional cost to cast this, you do have to behold a Merfolk and exile it. So we saw a little bit of like this with the Kithkin. Whenever this creature enters or becomes tapped, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. That's pretty good. When this creature leaves the battlefield, you do get to return the exile card. So it's only a momentary passing up. And honestly, for a 4 mana, 4/6 that taps things and puts stun counters on, this is strong. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Disruptor of Currents is 3 and 2 blue Merfolk Wizard, so 5 mana, 3/3, but it's got Flash and Convoke, so you can cast it for cheaper. When it enters, return up to 1 other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, so you can use this as protection if you want, and you can tap things so you can like, an opponent's planning to remove something, you can tap the thing they're removing and use this to flash in, save the thing that they're using, and then, of course, end up with a 3/3. Not bad, but nothing crazy. For your rare slot, it's a little weak, probably somewhere in the 6 out of 10 range. Flitter Wing Nuisance? Is that how you spell nuisance? I'm going to go. Yeah. Flitterwing Nuisance. I was like, I think that's nuisance, but it doesn't phonetically seem like it should be nuisance. Nuisance. But yes. Flitterwing Nuisance. Single blue, 2/2, fairy rogue with flying, but it does enter with a -1/-1, so it enters as a 1/1. You can pay 3 to remove a counter from this creature. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker this turn, draw a card. That is really strong, especially with a flyer, especially for cheap. But you are going to have to be able to pay that on the turn that you want to draw the card, so it's not going to be recurring. I do like this, but it's not like crazy broken. I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10, maybe even a 7. Glamour Gifter, so 1 and a blue fairy wizard, flash flying. So 2 mana, 1/2 flash flying. When it enters, choose up to 1 other target creature. Until end of turn, that creature has base power and toughness 4/4 and gains all creature types, which is really nice with all the kindred synergies. And you can use this at instant speed to really catch something off guard and basically use it as a combat trick that also gets you a creature. I like a combat trick that also gets you a creature. So I'm going to say probably 4 or 5 out of 10. One of the two. I'll go 5. I like it a lot. Glamour Might, 2 and a blue fairy rogue with flash. So again, a lot of casting things on other people's turns here. 3 mana, 2/2 flying. When this creature enters, choose 1. Tap target creature or untap target creature. So a lot of options that you can do there. Of course, with that flash, and a 2/2 flyer for 3 is about normal, a little under what we want at this point probably, but not bad. So I will give this a 4 out of 10. Glen Alindra Guardian. So this is 2 and a blue, flash, 3/4 flying, but it enters with a -1, so it's going to enter as a 2/3. You can pay 1 and a blue to remove a counter from it to counter target's non-creature spell. That's pretty good, although its controller does draw a card. So you got to keep that in mind, but rather than draw a card, then cast their crazy bomb of a sorcery or instant. However, it does not counter creature spells, so you got to keep that in mind. I still think it's a pretty solid card. 6 out of 10. probably. Yep. Glen Alindra's Answer. So this is 2 and 2 blue. Instant speed cannot be countered. Counter all spells your opponents control and all abilities your opponents control. And you create a 1/1 blue and black fairy creature token with flying for each spell and ability countered this way. This is kind of crazy, especially if you're going up against something with a lot of triggers. My brain goes to Constructed for a card like this. I do think in Limited, this is going to be a little less likely to get a whole lot because you're probably countering 1 or maximum 2 things. So it's counter for 4 mana, pretty much make a 1/1, which is fine. You would play that. I'd call that like a 5 out of 10. This is slightly better, so I will give it about a 6 out of 10. But in Constructed, this thing is crazy because you might have somebody be like, yep, that puts 20 triggers on the stack, and I'm going to cast this, and I'm going to do that. And then someone else goes, well, I'm going to cast this in response, and I'm going to counter it with this spell. And before any of that resolves, you can just go, mine can't be countered, and I'm going to counter all spells. All spells, which is crazy. And abilities. Oh, man. This card is wild. Yeah, no wonder it's priced pretty highly. This is one of the big mythics for this set. But unfortunately, in Limited, it's not great. All right, Gravel Gill Scoundrel. 1 in a blue Merfolk Rogue, so 1/3 Vigilance. That's fine. Whenever this creature attacks, you may tap another untapped creature you control. If you do, it can't be blocked. Pretty good if you're trying to like get creatures through, but unfortunately, not anything too crazy. I will give it a 4 out of 10. Harmonized Crescendo is 6 mana, 4 and 2 blue instant, but it has Convoke. Choose a creature type. Draw a card for each permanent you control of that type. I do like that it doesn't say creature, it says permanent, so your kindred enchantments or kindred artifacts and stuff like that do count. This is pretty solid in kindred decks. You know, this is, let's see what, Distant Melody is 4 mana, so this is cheaper. This is the same if you have 2 things you can tap for it. It's cheaper if you can tap even more things for it. So that's nice, and it does, like I said, it's permanents you control of that type, not creatures you control of that type. I mean, Distant Melody, anytime you draw cards is pretty strong. You just got to remember that this is probably 4 mana, draw 3 or something like that, which is strong, but it's not game-breaking. Probably a 6 or 7 out of 10, but I'm excited for it. Illusion Spinners, 5 mana. I'm so happy we have so many fairies, man. 5 mana, Fairy Wizard, 4/3. You may cast a spell as though it had flash if you control a fairy, which, you know, if you're playing fairies, you probably will. Flying, this creature has hexproof as long as it's untapped. That's not bad. Now, I guess, okay, so you can flash. Oh, excuse me. You can flash this in to block like a 2/2 or something like that. But not exactly sure why else you would really want to flash this in. Maybe if you just needed an enters trigger or something like that. But hey, not bad. And the hexproof is nice. It's a little below on where I want the power to be. If this was a 5 mana 4/4 flyer, I would feel a lot better. But yeah, it is what it is. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. I don't love it. Cool Wrath Mystic, 2 and a blue, 2/4. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, this creature gets +2/+0 and gains vigilance. You know, I always say that I like cards that benefit from you doing things that you're going to do anyways, but I don't know how often you're going to do this. Now, its stat line is fine, but it's not great. If you are in the elemental deck, you know, this gets a little bit better, but fine gets a 4 out of 10. Loch Mare, I'm excited for this. 2 mana, 4/5 mythic Horse Serpent. So for all you horse lovers out there, there's another horse card. Enters with 3 -1/-1 counters on it. So enters is a 1/2. You can remove a counter from it, draw a card. Already talked about how powerful I think that is. So having another card with that effect, extremely powerful. You can pay 3, remove 2 counters from it, tap target creature, put a stun counter on it. Also very powerful. And of course, while you're doing that, you're also getting a larger creature out of this. So pretty strong card in my opinion. I don't think it's game breaking. I haven't seen one that I would just be like absolute 10 out of 10. But I think this one's probably an 8 with all the value that you can get out of it. Yeah, we'll give it an 8. Oh, the art is so beautiful, guys. All right, Lofty Dreams. 5 mana, 3 and a blue. Enchantment Aura with Convoke. Enchant creature. When this enters, draw a card, and enchant creature gets +2/+2 and flying. I do like that it replaces itself and that you can cast it for pretty cheap, so I don't hate this. It'll get a 4 out of 10 for me. Mirror Form. Okay, 6 mana instant. Each non-land permanent you control becomes a copy of target non-aura permanent. Wow. Now it doesn't get past legendary, but this is a crazy card, man. It is 6 mana. And I don't think it does enough for 6 mana in limited. But in constructed, man, this thing gets crazy. Every non-land permanent you control becomes a copy of target non-aura permanent. That can do some crazy things. Now, wait a minute. I just realized this, guys. This doesn't say until end of turn. You just turn everything into one thing. Wow. Oh, wow. And you can choose something that's not yours. It's just any target non-aura permanent. Yeah, this is getting better the more I read it. Opponent, you imagine, opponent plays crazy 6-drop. You go, what if my whole board was just copies of that crazy 6-drop? That would be insane. I do think that this has the chance to not do a whole lot. If you have 3 creatures on the board and you turn all 3 of them into something slightly better, I don't know if you got your 6 mana worth of that. That being said, this card seems like it's so much fun to play that I would want to play it regardless. Just to say every single thing becomes a copy of that. Whatever that is, this sounds like a lot of fun to play. So I think practically it probably gets about a 5 or a 6 out of 10. For how much I enjoy what you could do with this card, I've got to give it like an 8 or a 9. This sounds fun. I hope I end up pulling this at some point. And by pulling, I'm sure it's worth a whole lot of money. But by pulling, I mean, have we seen this card? We might have seen this card. But by pulling this card, I mean probably on Arena, because I'm only going to do like one thing in person, but we'll see. Noggle the Mind. 1 in a blue, enchantment aura, flash, enchant creature. It loses all abilities and is a colorless Noggle with base power and toughness 1/1. We've seen this before. I mean, 2 mana, get rid of all abilities and make it a 1/1 is pretty solid. I think it's really good removal. So 4 or 5 out of 10. Probably 4. All right, we got a mythic planeswalker here. Oko, at the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay a green. If you do, transform it. We'll look at the transform in a second. It's got 3 loyalty. You can pay 2. Up to 1 target creature gains all creature types. Fine. You can get 2, plus 2. And then plus 1, target creature gets -2, -0 until end of turn. Also fine, but nothing crazy. So I'm going to assume there is a minus on the other side. Yeah, it's all minuses on the other side. -1, mill 3 cards. You may put a permanent card from among them into your hand. -3, create 2 3/3 green elk creature tokens. I love the callback. And then -6, choose a creature type. You get an emblem with creatures you control of the chosen type. Get +3/+3 and have vigilance and hexproof. Really strong. So this comes down. You're probably doing nothing with it really though. Once it comes down, you might be getting a small benefit. And then you have to transform it. And then you can do something pretty powerful with it. So, don't love that. I mean, you can, because you can't transform it until your next turn. So the turn it comes down, you're doing one of these 2 things, and it's not doing a whole lot. So because it's a 3 mana, do not a whole lot when it first enters, I'm a little more hesitant to say that I like it, because your opponent's probably just contributing to the board in a way that's a little more meaningful. But I'll still give it probably a 6 out of 10. Maybe a 7. I mean, if you get this going, it's pretty strong. All right, Omni Changeling, 3 and 2 blue, shapeshifter, changeling, 0/0, convoke. You have this creature enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it has changeling. That's really strong because it's not just a creature you control. So any creature on the battlefield except it has changeling and it has convoke. I love this card. I mean, copy your best thing, copy your opponent's best thing. Again, we always talk about whether if you're behind, having something that you have to copy is behind on board, so you're not going to do anything. But if you can copy your opponent's stuff, that's great. Pick their best creature and make a copy of it. That's awesome. I like this card a lot. I think this is a 6 out of 10. Bordering on maybe even a 7 from an uncommon. That's insane. I don't know. Maybe I'm hyping it up a little too much. So we'll go 6 out of 10. Pestered Wellguard, 3 and a blue creature merfolk soldier, so 4 mana 3/2, but when it becomes tapped, you create a 1/1 blue and black fairy creature token with flying. I like the combination between merfolk and fairy, and it's not, we saw this a lot where they did creature type merfolk fairy. No, it's a merfolk that when it becomes tapped creates a fairy, which is really nice with some of the convoke synergies. It's a little low on stat line though, especially if you don't ever get that trigger, so be careful. Because of that, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Rime Chill. This is a 7 mana instant. It has Vivid, so you might cast it for less, but again, I'm not huge on Vivid so far. Tap up to 2 target creatures, put a stun counter on them, and then draw a card. Fine, but I think the cost of this is way too... I think you're typically going to be paying 4 mana for this. Or, sorry, reduce this by... Yeah, 4 mana for this. And 4 mana, tap up to 2 target creatures, put a stun counter on each of them, and then draw a card is fine, but I don't think that's crazy. So I'm just saying, I don't know if I love this card. 3 out of 10. All right, Rime Fire Torque, 1 and a blue artifact. As this artifact enters, choose a creature type. Whenever a permanent you control of the chosen type enters, put a charge counter on this artifact. Tap, remove 3 charge counters from it. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it. You may choose new targets. But that's a lot of do nothing. That is a lot of do nothing to maybe do one thing. I do not like this at all. 2 out of 10. In the right deck, it's technically playable, but really should be a 1. All right, Ryan. Oh, we have a new... Oh, that is beautiful art for Runaway Together. Look at that. We're not on that one yet, though. Rhymekin Recluse, 2 and a blue elemental wizard. So 3 mana, 3/2. When it enters, return up to 1 other target creature to its owner's hand. Look, we've seen it before. We'll see it again. The Big Fin Bouncer style cards are broken. I actually just lost to one of my friends in a game where he played Big Fin Bouncer against me. So, goes and proves that those cards are really awesome. They basically tempo out your opponent, and you get a body as well. So this is going to be great. 5 out of 10. Runaway Together, I was just talking about this. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by different players. Obviously, this is really strong in Constructed Commander because you can choose 2 creatures that aren't your own. But even in Limited, you can choose your own weakest creature or something that you want to return for safety reasons and then still bounce an opponent. So I really like Runaway Together, and this is beautiful art. I mean, all the other ones I've seen. Oh, wait, no, I forgot Bloomburrow had them sailing down the little river. That's even cuter. Oh. Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen this one. I have not seen this one. Look at this Boulder's Gate one. It's a Mind Flayer and a Goblin.
Ew.
Yeah, and then all of the... Anyways, this is really cute. This is adorable art. So, I love this card. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. All right, Shine Striker. This has to have Vivid. This card has to have Vivid. This... I don't know if I can make that joke. Anyways, 4 and 2 blue. I was gonna say it feels like this card has pronouns.
Yep.
4 and 2 blue, creature elemental flying. I was gonna say if anything's gonna have Vivid, it better be this card. When this creature enters, draw cards equal to the number of colors among permanents you control. Okay, now this card's actually probably playable even if your Vivid count is 3, because you cast it 6 mana, 3/3, draw 3 is huge, especially because it's a flyer. So Vivid is fine on this card. Vivid is just fine. Play this card, even if it's 2, right? 6 mana, 3/3 flyer, draw 2 is also worth it. So go for it, people. Really love this card. This is strong. 5 out of 10, maybe even a 6 out of 10. Silver Gill Mentor, 1 and a blue creature, Merfolk Wizard. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you hold a Merfolk or pay 2. When this creature enters, you create a 1/1 white and blue Merfolk. We saw this with, I think, Kithkin it was, or whatever, but, it's going to be fine. It's not going to be crazy, but it's fine. It helps you get the amount of Merfolk out there, which is good for Convoke and is good for all the Lord effects and that sort of thing, so it's strong. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Yep, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. All right, Silver Gill Peddler, 2 and a blue Merfolk Citizen. When this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard. That's really strong, right? We like looting. There are ways to tap this beyond just attacking. It's almost a good stat line. It's fine. But I do like it. I like this a lot. Just letting you loot once or twice. You've already gotten some pretty good value out of this. So it's fine. It's nothing crazy. It's probably a 4 out of 10. Spell Snare, single blue, instant, counter target spell with mana value 2. Now, notably, it does not have to have mana value, blah, blah, blah. Like it is not less than 2. It is not 3 or less. It is mana value 2, very specifically. Counter target spell with mana value 2. I would not run this. I would not run this card. 99% of the time, this card is completely dead in your hand. Do not run this card. Please do not run this card. 0 out of 10, if I can give it that. Stratosaur. This looks cute. 5 mana elemental flying. When it enters, target creature gains flying until end of turn. It has basic land cycling. I don't think we saw that with white. So, hey, basic land cycling. The land cyclers are always great. And this one's not even island cycling. It's basic land cycling, which is pretty good. You have to have the blue, obviously. But, hey, not bad, right? 5 mana, 3/5 flyer that gives something else flying. Or if you just need it to go get the right color, use it to go get the right color. I'll give this a 4 out of 10. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I love the land cycling cards. Summit Sentinel. 1 and a blue, Elemental Soldier. When it dies, draw a card. I mean, that's fine. This thing's really here just to, like, jump block, though, because it doesn't have any power, right? So, it's nothing crazy. 4 mana. 4 mana. 4 out of 10. All right, Sunderflock. 7 and 2 blue creature elemental. Now, it does have this spell cost X less to cast, where X is the greatest mana value among elementals you control. So, you got to have a big value elemental. Flying, when it enters, if you cast it, return all non-elemental creatures to their owner's hands. Whoa. Okay, so we just got a elemental only, almost. Oh my gosh, what is that card called? God, guys, I'm so bad with card names. Oh. No, it's a blue spell that I think it costs 7, and it returns everybody else's, all their permanents, all their non-land permanents, it returns them to their hand. It's on the Game Changer list. It's stupid.
I don't know, actually.
I've never played against it, because we don't play that high-level Magic, right? So it's going to bother me, guys. Everyone in the comments is spamming the correct, because I should know it, and the moment I see it, it's going to... Where is it? Oh my goodness, am I this bad at, like, even looking stuff up? Cyclonic Rift.
Oh, we should know that.
Oh, okay. So it's like an elemental-only Cyclonic Rift type thing. You know what? I'm happy for all the elemental fans out there that are going to be getting good benefit from this. So, that being said, unless you're playing elementals, this is bad. If you are playing elementals, this is great. Honestly, this thing is not really castable. Like, 9 mana 5/5 flyer is not cast. Well, I mean, your opponent might have no elemental creatures, in which case, all of their stuff goes back to hand and you have a 5/5. That's not bad, but it's still not good enough for 9 mana. So you have to be playing an elemental deck. But if you're playing an elemental deck, it's like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 card. If you're not, don't play it. Swat away. 2 and 2 blue instant, but it costs 2 less to cast if a creature is attacking you. Notably, not the creature, a creature. The owner of target spell or creature puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library. Now, again, 2 less to cast if a creature is attacking you. Not if the creature you target. Not if target creature is attacking you, if a creature is attacking you. Which is way better, because if you want to put something else on the top or bottom of their library, you can do that, even though they're attacking with something else. That's really powerful. Also, in Commander, somebody else can attack you, and you can just be like, fuck this other guy. I'm going to still target their thing, which is really funny. I like this card a lot. I'm going to call it 5 out of 10. All right, we've seen this one, but we will cover it anyways. Sig Wanderwine Wisdom. This one was spoiled. 2 mana, 2/2. It cannot be blocked whenever this creature enters or transforms. Target creature gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker. Draw a card until end of turn, which is awesome. And then when it flips, it still says Sig can't be blocked. Whenever this creature transforms into Wanderbrine Shield, target creature you control gains protection from each color until your next turn. And of course, protection is can't be damaged, equipped, blocked, or targeted. So if it can't be blocked, this thing is just perfect in the decks that want want to do combat-based triggers, which I guess it's legendary, so you could run it as a commander in that and just run a whole bunch of whenever a creature deals damage, you draw a card. That'd be a fun deck to build, actually. I might have to do something like that. This thing's great. I love it as the 2-drop. This thing's awesome. I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10. Tanafel Rhyme Speaker. 3 and a blue elemental wizard. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, draw a card. Now this one I can get a little bit more behind because drawing a card is so powerful. However, the stat line still bugs me. The stat line still bothers me. So it will bump itself up to a 4 from a 3, but it's still like just fine. Temporal Cleansing. 3 and a blue sorcery with Convoke. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it into their library, second from the top or on the bottom. I like that this has Convoke. However, I would prefer it if this was at instant speed, because then I could leave up blockers and then convoke it after that. So because of that, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. I still think removal is important, so it gets the 4. Thirst for Identity. 2 and a blue instant. Draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard a creature card. This is pretty strong. I mean, this thing is great in... This thing's honestly probably really good in, like, Kaviro, if I want it for a standard, because you can draw 3, and then, I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. It's only 3. But it's still not bad, because you're wanting to discard creatures in that. This is fine. This is a good card, right? Like, 3 mana, draw 3. I don't care if I have to discard a creature. I'm going to discard the worst creature and keep what I need, right? Like, this is good stuff. This is great, honestly. Like I said, I mean, uncommon, 6 out of 10. Maybe even a 7. It's a 6. All right. Unexpected Assistance. 3 and 2 blue instant. With Convoke, draw 3 cards, then discard 8 cards. This is what we just looked at, but you have to Convoke it. Now, if you can Convoke it down to 3 mana, this is just straight up discard anything, whereas this one requires you to discard a creature card. However, you'd have to tap 2 creatures to do that. You're probably going to have 2 creatures to tap to do that, but if you don't, that's the downside. I think I have to give this the same rating, though. 6 out of 10. This thing's going to be crazy good, right? If this is 2 mana, I mean, obviously you're tapping creatures to do it, but it's at instant speed, so you can hold up your blockers, you can do whatever you want, and then right at the end step, 2 mana, draw 3, discard 1. Oh, 6 out of 10. Unwelcome Sprite. 1 and a blue. Creature, Fairy Rogue, 2/1 flyer. Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, Surveil 2. Now, Surveil 2 is a little bit more significant. You're looking at 2 cards when you do that. We haven't seen a ton of graveyard synergy yet, but we might see that when we get to like black, so we got to keep that in mind. But it's fine. I mean, 2 mana, 2/1 flyer is acceptable, and there's a little bit of payoff. Probably a 4 out of 10. Wander Wine Distractor. 3 and a blue Merfolk Wizard. 4/3. That's okay, but not great. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, target creature and opponent control gets -3, -0 until end of turn. Okay, fine, but it doesn't really make up the stat line a whole lot, so I'm going to say a 3 out of 10 on that one. That might be it. Nope. Wanderwine Farewell. 5 and 2 blue Kindred Sorcery Merfolk with Convoke. Return 1 or 2 target non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Then, if you control a Merfolk, create a 1/1 white and blue Merfolk creature token for each permanent returned to its owner's hand. I like this. And you can make it pretty cheap, but it is pretty expensive for 7. Yeah, it's pretty expensive for 7. So that probably brings it down to a 4 out of 10 for me, even with Convoke. And then last but not least, Wild Unraveling. 2 blue, instant, as an additional cost, blight 2 or pay 1, and counter target spell. I mean, so this is just counter spell with the extra step of having to blight 2, although that could be a benefit, or the extra step of having to pay an additional 1. But, I mean, hey, counter spells are powerful. I think it's going to be at least a 4 out of 10, maybe even a 5. I don't know how bad the blight's going to affect the game. There's a lot of ways that you can kind of turn it into a benefit, or at least turn it into not really a bad thing. But we'll just have to see how it really pans out. For now, I'll probably leave it at a 4 out of 10 and just say, look, counterspell's strong, but you are taking a bit of a hit. And that is all the blue cards. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite ones were down below. What takes did I get right? What takes did I get wrong? If you're watching this after the set came out, like, what do you think of it? How does it play? Are you having fun with it? We want to know any and everything you guys want to share with us. Thank you so much for joining the Roll Sickle family. Like I said, or like we normally say, because I don't think I've done it in these videos, but we're just a couple nerds sharing our hobbies with you guys. And we really appreciate all the love and support and the community that you guys have built. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one to go over the black cards. But until then, may those rolls be ever in your favor. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye, y'all.